Our assignment is going to talk about introduction to database and SQL. The first topic is we're going to discuss for this assignment is file system problem, which is divided into three. The first is structural and data dependence problem. The second is data redundancy, and the third is types of data anomaly. The first problem, which is the structural and data dependency problem, had a data dependence. Data dependence, data access change when data storage characteristic changes, such as modification in the characteristic of data, such as changing the decimal. It requires change in all programs that access the file. The second is data independence, which is data storage characteristic is changed without affecting the programmability to access the data. If data independence exists, then it is possible to make changes to the data without affecting any of the program. The second one, data redundancy. Data redundancy, it's data that is duplicate some of the data. The first, it had disadvantage, of course. The first, it had a poor security for protecting their data. Data inconsistency exists when different and conflicting versions of the same data in different places. Increased likelihood of data entry errors when complex entry are made in different files. And it also had data anomalies. And the last problem is data anomaly, which is developed when not all of required changes in the redundant data are made successfully. There are three types of data anomaly. The first one is update anomalies, which is a new record must update. Example, a person want to update his phone number, update on the new data. And the second is insertion anomalies, which is someone want to add a new record, such as email address, phone number. And lastly, deletion anomalies, which is they will delete along with all data. Example, if they delete one record, others will also delete it. Now I'm going to pass to Daniel to discuss database management system function. Thank you.
Okay, now I will talk about the database management system function, which stands for DBMS. The first function is data dictionary management, which will store definitions of the data elements and their relationships. The second one is data storage management, which performance tuning that ensure efficient performance of the database in terms of storage and access speed. And the third one is data transformation and presentation, which will transform entered data to confirm and to require the data structures. And there is also security management, which will enforce user security and its data privacy. And the fifth one is multi-user access control, which will sophisticated the algorithm ensure that multiple users can access the database concurrently and compromising its integrity. And the last one is backup and recovery management, which will enable recovery of the database after a failure. Thank you, and I will pass it to the other one.
Hello guys, so today I'm going to explain the word SQL. So you may know SQL as SQL or structured query language and such source, and now I'm going to explain to you what is that. Alright, so okay, it's simple. Right. SQL, also known as SQL or SQL, you may there's a lot of SQL out there. So SQL is basically is a language that you can communicate straight to the database. Alright, you got it? Alright, so let's go to the next slide. So we have a slide over here. Okay, so structured query language is also known, this is already tell you, this is also known as SQL. It's easy to understand and access to the databases for normal people to use the database, and we all can learn the language SQL. Alright, so SQL can be used in laptop, PC, server, and all. I don't know how mobile phones can relate to this, and yeah, same with mobile phones. SQL is really portable language you can learn and use. Okay, so another one is software like this is the software that you can use like MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft Access to use SQL. Okay, next. Alright, for your knowledge, you know, SQL have a lot of benefits you can learn and you can achieve by learning SQL and databases. It's opened a lot of job opportunities to you, to a lot of bigger companies that uses a lot of database, a lot of complex database. So it's easier to you to get a job. So let's change. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to talk about DML command. There are lots of DML command, and I'm going to talk about 4 of them. First is select statement. Select statement is used to select data from database. Okay, and I'm going to show you on how using the select statement in SQL. Okay, this is the outcome when you put select product. Okay, next one is where statement. Where statement is basically when you put condition on the select statement. Okay, for example, use the previous command. Okay, this is the outcome when you put where statement in SQL. Okay, the third one is group by. Group by is when you want to group rows that have the same values into a summary row. Okay, for example, okay, okay. The third point is group by. Group by basically is when you want to group the data. Okay, and the definition is group by statement is a group rows that have the same values into a summary row, and then the group by statement is often used to aggregate with function. For example, count, max, min, and sum, or average. To group the result cell by one or more columns. Okay, I'm going to show you an example when you use the group by syntax in SQL. Okay, this is the outcome when you put group by syntax in a command. Okay, the next one is order by. Order by basically is kinda like group by, but it has condition. For example, in ascending order and descending order, that's the most common one. Okay, I'm going to show you an example. If you use order by command in SQL, okay, it's basically you use the same command group by, but you just add order by after the group by command. This one is the outcome when you put the order by descending order. Okay, and then if you want to choose ascending order, and then you just press ascending order. Okay, this is the outcome when you put the ascending order. Okay, that's all. Okay, I'm going to pass to Ichiro. Thank you.
Right, so right after Ammar did the basic SQL teaching just now, I am going to show another few SQL DML commands and also a few operators such as comparison operators, logical operators, and also aggregators function. So as you can see here, there are two tables right here, which is the product table and also the category table. And the first thing that we're going to know is having. So having is almost the same with where you can specify a condition, but the specialty of having is you can use things such as aggregator function also. Okay, so if to demonstrate the use of having, okay, so here I have made a query, select all from product, having price is more than 15, and from the product, and it will generate all of the prices that are more than 15. So it's almost the same as where, just that you can use things such as count, mean, and max with the use of having rather than where. So the next command that we have is the update command. So update command is in case that in the table itself you wanted to update something. For example, the product ID 6. So I wanted to update the product name from Australian beef to Japanese beef, and the price from 30 to perhaps 2500. So here I will make a command. Okay, so here I have made a query, update the table product, set the product name to Japanese beef and the price to 25, where the product ID is 6. So if we run this and we select all from product, so we can see that the product ID 6, the name have changed according to the update just now. The use case is for this, where in case you wanted to update something in the table, then you can just use the update and also set command. So the next thing is comparison operators. So there are a few comparison operators in SQL, such as equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. Just for your information, not equal to is in this form rather than in this form. So I will demonstrate the use of equal to. So here I have made a query, select product name and category ID, and I wanted to choose the one that have the supplier ID equal to 1. So if I run this, right, so right here I have made a query with the equal to operators. So we're going to select the product name, supplier ID, and what we wanted to find here is to list down the one that have the supplier ID equal to 1. So if I run this, it will generate 3 of these records: Chase, Chang, and aniseed syrup. So all of these have the supplier ID equal to 1. In case if I wanted to find the one that the price is more than or equal to 15, so I will run this and you can see. Okay, let me change this. Alright, so here we have it lists down the one that have the price more or equal to 15. The use of logical operators is really big and mostly being used in case that you wanted to compare the string and also the numbers. So the next thing that we have is logical operators. So logical operators, for example, are all, and, any, in, between, or. Those are called logical operators. So here I am going to use the logical operators and, for example. Right, so here I have made a query, select all from the table product where the price is more than 15 and supplier ID equal to 1. So if I run this, so it will list only 2 of them. So the reason why I didn't choose aniseed is because the price is not 15, it's less than 15, which is 10. And we can also use or. So with or, we can have this kind of list. The difference between and or is, or you only have to fulfill one of the condition, then it will be accepted, while the use of and, it need to complete and fulfill both of the condition. There are also operators such as in, so in logical operators there are also operators such as IND, where you wanted to compare with multiple values, usually strings. So here I have made a query, select all from product, where product name in Chang, Chang, Ching, and Japanese seaweed. So here, so we wanted to list down the one that have exactly the same string from product name, and if we run this, we will only generate 2 of them. So the reason, so we can see that there are Chang and Japanese seaweed, but there are no Ching. So the reason why no Ching is, in the table itself there are no Ching at all. So that is how you can compare a value in the table in multiple way. And the last one is aggregate function. So just now I have shown the use of having, right, and where. So why you will rather use having compared to where is having enabled the use of aggregate functions such as count, average, and also sum. So in case if I wanted to calculate how many records available in a table, so I just select count all from product. So there are 7 of them, and the reason there are 7 is because in the table product itself there are 7 records. And this is the use of aggregate functions. In case you wanted to calculate something directly, you don't have to add one by one. You can just use all of these functions just like that. Imagine that the table have hundreds of records and you wanted to see how many of them. Just use the function count. If in case you wanted to calculate the sum of the price from all of these records, so I will just use the aggregator function sum and price from the product. If I run this, it will equal to 124. So technically it just add up 18, 19, 10, and so on, and in the end we get 124. And that is the use of aggregator function. All of these functions that enable you to calculate faster, and those are SQL command that usually being used. And that's all. Thank you and have a great day.